Hey, it's your man, BS the Pandemic, aka Dark Trainer Gas, or vice versa. I haven't done this in a while. I haven't recorded a video in 5 years of any kind at all, according to the video files in front of me. I haven't competed in a draft league in just 2019 or 2018, either one or two of them. So this is my first league, the IBL, in many, many years. And I'm kind of excited because I finally get to shake the rust off. This will be my 50th league. I almost can't believe I've been in 50 leagues. I've won 19 championships, and uh, I feel like, out of 19 out of 50 isn't horrible comparing this to a lot of good players out here. Today I'm going to be going over the analysis of my the team that I drafted for the IBL. And this team is really unique because it has a lot of things that I haven't gotten a chance to use. A lot of new stuff, some old stuff that has some new stuff, and some things that I really am interested in trying to see if it can work. I could definitely fall flat on my face in this league. There are a lot of these teams, as I was going through the list, are very, very hard to prep for, and with the introduction of Terra into the game, even you can prep for anything you want, but um, every mon has more than one type. So, I mean, we have Terra Captains that limits it down, but it still adds an element of, extra typing to prep for, which can cause some difficulties. My first mon up will be Ogerpon, which is, I don't know if Ogerpon be considered mystical or a legendary at this point. Um, his mon is kind of dope. This version really stands out to me. Everybody's kind of obsessed with the fire version and the water version. To me, this rock version is definitely clean. It can take on most versions of itself. I think the only version that kind of should survive against it is the regular grass version, but the fire version gets that it did in. The water version doesn't really want to take a rock type move. Rock type what's it called, Ivy Cudgel, which is kind of gangster, and then on top of it, it also is grass typing, so it can hit you with either power whip or leech. Was it Mega Horn? No, leech horn. I'm sorry, stupidest. He gets a couple different things. Let's see, scroll in there. Yeah, power whip is something that he gets. He also gets seed bomb, which is pretty clean. He gets wood hammer, which is OP, and he gets horn leech. Horn leech is definitely a problem. So he has some really good options. In terms of how his stats are laid out, he definitely doesn't have the best special attack, but that speed, that 110, is dope because it pretty much outspeeds most of the Paradox Pokemon and a lot of the Pokemon within the game. That 120 attack is definitely fire, especially when that 120 attack is coming off of I believe it's the only fully accurate rock move in the game, which should be Ivy Cudgel Rock type. It's 100 base power with a high crit chance, which is completely busted. This mod gets everything that it needs to be a problem. I mean, Banzo's a rock and grass type. I think the only thing that it can't hit is a steel type, but it gets a ground type move. And what's the move that it gets this ground type? It definitely gets. Oh, there we go. Something tantrum. So it definitely gets something for its one problem. But grass and rock together can take on most things. Rock can handle fire and ice, and is it fire, ice, and flying? Grass handles water, ground, rock. It handles a whole lot. I don't know. I think about it. Grass really does just do work. So between those two typings, it has very few things that just want to come in on it. And in Fairy, Dark, they don't want to take a neutral hit from Ivy Cudgel. So this is definitely a monster. It has a really good ability in Sturdy. It cannot be teared. If it was teared, it'd be definitely even more broken. But Sturdy is fire because Sturdy can allow for some crazy things to happen if you survive some things you shouldn't be surviving. Uh, my next mod is then I'm done talking about him. The next mod is Empoleon. Empoleon is something that I've actually used. I actually won 2 championships with it. I think in the Amino leagues back in the day. And Empoleon is definitely a bulky beast. It also gets I believe it gets double team agility. It gets agility, so it gets speed boost coming off of that base 60 speed. So I guess after one agility plus 2 speed, it outspeeds a lot. This generation, it got multiple buffs. It never had a way to heal itself all these years, and now it actually gets, I believe, Roost by level up or Roost by egg move. I know Roost by TM, so it actually gets Roost, which is kind of broken because this thing is a special wall for sure. Um, it gets competitive, so it got rid of its old ability, which I forget what it was. I think it was Defiant, and they replaced it with competitive, which is is super clean because there was never no point in it ever being Defiant. Because why would you use this as a physical attacker when the special attack is 1 in 11, which is bananas? So there's no point. Which means that basically anything comes in, or if it comes in on sticky webs, it comes in on an intimidate. There's going to always be sort of kind of problem. Um, the one major thing that I'm interested in using it for is definitely Roost. Trying to see it use it as a bulky defensive wall. It's gonna be kind of dope. It has a physical side, so it definitely has a pretty okay attack in 86. So it can be used as a mixed attacker in case you want to try to surprise somebody. But it has a couple different sets. I mean, I've used it in the past multiple different ways, so I'm interested to see how it does now in this new generation. On to my next mod, which is Vikavolt. Vikavolt is interesting because it's basically going to be my sticky web setter. I think that's pretty much what he's there for. It got nerfed in many ways. It took away its defog, which was weird to me. I think it no longer has Roost either. They gave it Iron Defense, which is weird because I don't think it gets body pressed. Yeah, it does get body press, so I don't know what made them give it Iron Defense with no body press. I guess that's a thing that goes on. I don't know if it always had body. It just feels like a weird combo to me. I'm gonna be keeping it real, but this mod actually has a really good typing. I mean, Bug Electric does a lot. It's very slow, but in a Trick Room team, it can be a demon. I have used it in the past some pretty interesting ways that might come in handy depending on what I may have to run up against. But it has a massive attack. It has one of the highest attacks I believe in the game, which is 145. So anything getting hit by this thing is not gonna like it at all. Um, I'm a little interested to see how it functions without Roost because Roost is definitely something that it definitely needed, but we're gonna try to see if it works out, and I've used it before, so let's see what we can do. The next one is Tauros Fire, which this generation of Tauros got I believe it's the Paldean form, which Paldean form is actually fighting over normal. But it also got two other additional forms, which is a water form and a fire form. Both of them retain all the same abilities, except for a gain an ability called Kudchu, which I am been playing with this ability for a long time, and I'm very interested to use it in a way that I don't think anyone's really ready for. So let's see how that works out. In terms of stats, this thing has a crazy stat distribution. I don't want to say. I think the original Tauros had way more special attack. I think they took a lot of our special attack, added it to its defense. I think the speed is pretty much the same, maybe like a point less lower. They took some from its HP, but it has a massive defense, a massive attack, and 100 speed, which is all really good, especially if you're pretty bulky, so you're taking some things. Its special defense isn't the greatest, but it still is enough for it to be viable with a little investment. This it gets a new move, which is Raging Bull that I've only ever used in game. But Raging Bull has a unique ability where I believe it destroys screens. So that's gonna be kind of dope. It gets close combat, of course. It gets fire moves. It still gets ground moves. It still gets really good normal moves. So like this thing is definitely gonna be a problem. It gets some dope ass rock moves. But what it gets Willows? I didn't even know it got Willows. So I guess it has a fully defensive set if you really want one. But that's dope. I got a fire type, so that's something that I'm interested in using. My next mod is Turquoise, which I've used a lot. I know I keep saying I've used a lot, but I've used Turquoise in the past. Weather is not usually my thing. I don't really do weather that often. Turquoise kind of just fell into my lap because I had drafted some other things and I got sniped a few times. So it kind of just was like, okay, well, what do I do to kind of make this team round it off and make it into a solid because my team, as you can see, has a good amount of bulk so far. So I wanted to try to round it out and give it a little more firepower. And I figured, I had Tauros, so I mean, I was going to get Tauros, which he was on my paper early on, and I wasn't sure if I was getting water or fire. And I said, well, if I get the Sunsetter, the King of Sunsetting, and I take that man and I put him with Tauros, who now has a lot of fire type moves. This could be very destructive. I mean, Tauros coming off of Sun, and not to mention Torkoal himself can pack quite a little punch. Choice specs in different other ways, and he's also can spread burn, and he can do a whole lot of different interesting things. So Torkoal is definitely not a problem. I believe he doesn't get slack off, which I don't understand why he doesn't get slack off. Because I feel like he should have slack off. He looks like he should slack off. He's a turtle, but he doesn't get slack off, so he gets no recovery. But he's Torkoal, so he has his main job is setting the sun and just chipping off at things. So that's cool, and setting up hazards. So that's what he's here for. He's also a spinner, so that gives me some hazard removal as well, which is dope. Um, so that's what he's here for. He's just here to just do some disruption. This is the monster right here, my guy. He used to be my mascot for many years, and I've done some crazy damage with this man over the years. He comes off an amazing 117 attack, which is not huge now that power creep is a thing, but he gets an ability called Moxie. So I mean, like if I catch some chips and kill something, he running off with the bag. He's running off the bag. His speed is not the greatest at 92, but it I've used Crocodile in so many different ways. I mean, he's going to run off with the bag a few times. I'm sure some people want to catch on to him, but he's definitely out here to do some criminal activities. If y'all don't know, a Crocodile's whole gimmick is that he's a crook and a crocodile. So let's see if he can steal me some wins out here. That'd be dope. I'm going with Ambipom. Ambipom is unique because he was one of the fastest Pokemon early on in the game. He's very fast at 115. He has a base 100 attack, and he's a normal type. He has a lot of crazy gimmicks, as well as some really good utility. So I just got him because I wanted to see. I've used him in different capacities before. I don't really see him. Does he get Swords Dance this generation? I know that's kind of weird to ask, but I'm kind of wondering. I mean, he has an amazing move pool. I think they would never give this demon Swords Dance. If they gave this demon Swords Dance, it'd be crazy. That'd be bananas. Yeah, he doesn't get any sort of attack boost, I don't believe. He has no way of raising his own attack, which I believe is done on purpose because of his crazy move pool. Like if he had the ability to like Swords Dance or something, he would be a legit sweeper. He gets Nasty Plot though, which is kind of demonic. Why would he get? He has 160 special attack, so I guess like you would need like two Nasty Plots to be like really viable at that point. But he gets some stuff. I don't know what on the special side he doesn't really get a whole lot. I know he gets Thunder. He get hey, don't mind. Wait a minute, my guy he might have a little bit of mix in him. We'll see. We'll see what he can do. But he's just here to do things. Like he's basically just here just to disrupt things, chip stuff off, be a little pain. He really doesn't do much but do damage. In VGC, he does a lot more, but in singles, he more so just does damage and pivots, which is that's kind of dope. It kind of just gives you that ability to just chip at stuff and break sashes and be annoying, man, as though he's so fast. Here's my guy, Walking Wake. Walking Wake is the only Paradox mod that I have. He actually only got picked up because I didn't get Sandy Shocks. I wanted Sandy Shocks. I wanted that good old ground and electric type because I've never used Sandy Shocks in a battle capacity, really, like outside the game. Believe it or not, these two mons, Crook and Walking Wake, were only picked up because Sandy Shocks was taken. So if Walking Wake like runs off with the bag, it's whoever took Sandy Shocks' fault, to be real with you. But of course, he gets boosted by, Sun Rays, which I have those. He also has an item that boosts his stats. And he has a very good speed at 109, which is 1 point lower than what's the name? Ogerpon. So that's a thing. But with the sun up, he has the ability to be faster than anything that he wants to be faster than. He has a 125 attack, and he gets a lot of sun boosted moves. I think he gets the only one of two sun boosted water moves in the game, which is um, Hydro Steam, I believe it is. Hydro Steam, yep, which is boosted by sun rays by 1.5. And then he also gets Flamethrower, which is a thing. So he has some pretty good coverage. I don't think what can he not hit? I mean, he's Dragon type, and he gets pretty good coverage. So it's like he kind of just stands in front of stuff in the sun and just clicks buttons. So it'll be fun to use and see what we can come up with. Now to Clefable. Clefable, I forget why I drafted Clefable. I'm gonna keep it 112. I think I really just drafted Clefable just for his cleric abilities. I thought at the time when I drafted him, I'm gonna keep it a whole 106. I know I just keep changing the number, but I thought he got Heal Bell, which if for some reason Clefable doesn't get Heal Bell, which is really weird to me. I thought at some point it did get Heal Bell. Maybe it did. But I thought I would get a Heal Bell because I feel as though Heal Bell is something that's really, really necessary in this day and age because of the sheer use of toxic spikes and the way that people are just laying them things all out over the place. So, but that's cool though. He gets all types of other fun things. You know, he gets ways to set up. He has sweeping ability, both the physical side and the special side. He also is very bulky and ignores stat changes because he has the ability unaware. So he also gets magic guard, which makes it so he can't get poisoned or anything like that. So he has ways to doing things. What if Clefable got like hazard move? That'd be crazy. I feel like it should do rapid spin. I mean, it kind of spins in the movies and the shows. So I don't understand. It gets knockoff, which is dope. So we're gonna see how this thing gets worked and things. Plus, it's a fairy type, so fairy types just in general just do damage to stuff. Because there's only like two typings that resist fairy. I think it's fire and steel. Everything else just takes neutral damage or super effective damage. So fairy just is a free moonblast all the time for most cases, especially if you remove threats. So he's here just to really pass around things and heal and do what Clefable does. He does not get teleport this generation, which was something a staple for a lot of mons last generation. I can't wait till teleport comes back. It's one of the best pivoting moves in the game. I don't know why it's not in this game, to be honest with you. Especially since it got a buff last generation. Um, my next mon is Murkrow. So Murkrow's here just for support. That's all Murkrow does. Murkrow comes in, it disrupts some things with Prankster. It supports some things. It can set up some things. I know I'm making all types of weird noises. I apologize. And it basically just it does bird like stuff. I don't know what else Miracle does, man. Miracle just is. It's always been a really good utility mod, so like I figure why not. And then Miracle also has the option to set up all types of weather, so which is where I don't know why they didn't give a lot of mons the ability to set up snow. I don't think any mons got snow. Like hail is going from the game. A lot of mons just A lot of mines just lost the ability to set up snow of any kind. Because I know Murkrow used to be able to set up hail, but now it looks like a lot of mines. When I was looking through, like a lot of mines that learned the ability to hail just lost the ability to just set snow altogether, which is really strange to me because you got mines that can set up sandstorms and rain and Sundance, but can't set up snow, which is odd. And that's a weather, so it is what it is. My last mon is Cresselia. Cresselia is here to be Cresselia. Cresselia can be a Trickum setter, it can be a screen setter, it can be a sweeper if you really want to be. I know, whoever heard of a Cresselia sweeping? I have because I've done it. Cresselia can definitely sweep, being as though it has Calm Mind and Stored Power and all types of crazy stuff. You know, it's just a bulky monster that sits around and just lives forever. It has many ways to heal, and it's just really good. So I figure, why not? Why not put Cresselia out here and let Cresselia do some things? It also has a really, really crazy move pool. It gets Thunderbolt, it gets Ice Beam, it gets. Let's see if fire moves. I don't think it gets fire moves. I know I'm over here just having random thoughts, but like I don't think it gets fire moves because that'd be crazy. No, it gets sunny day though, which is I can rock with that. I don't think this can set snow either. Yeah, it doesn't set snow, which is weird because it learns a good amount of ice moves, but it doesn't set snow. So with that being said, majority that's the whole team here. This is one of my most unique teams I've ever drafted because I'm not sure if the team is too bulky. Like looking at it, is it too bulky? Probably not. I have a good amount of sweepers on here. I think it's a pretty balanced team. I'm very interested to see how other people judge my team. To be honest with you, because I don't know how to judge it. It's definitely a good little mix. I have some resistances to a lot of things, and then some. I think I have some holes out here too. I don't know. I wanted to get a ghost type, but I don't really have space on my team for a ghost type. I have two fire types, which is weird, but I don't have a ghost type, and ghost is definitely a problem. So but I have some ghost resistances and a ghost immunity, so maybe it'll work itself out. But other than that, this is I'm gonna go ahead and end this right here with just 20 minutes. That's pretty long. Wasn't supposed to be this long. I apologize for everybody who has to watch this, but you know what I mean. The thumbnail for this is gonna be hot garbage. I'm gonna keep it all the way real because I have not made a thumbnail in years, and I don't even have the time to go through the apps right now and make one. Um, so I'm gonna figure the thumbnail out as I go. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. This is Gas the Pandemic, aka Dark Train of Gas, and I'm back at it like I never left. I'll see y'all.